Yes or no, can white people experience racism?
No.
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 No?
No. By definition, no.
What's the definition?
I would have to Google it really quickly, but...
Do that for me.
Okay, let me Google it for you. I can't find the exact definition right now.
If someone came up to me and said, I hate white people, I hate you because you're white, did I just experience racism from that?
No.
But if I said those exact same words and twisted the skin color, it would be racist.
Absolutely, 100%.
I did not go through that course of who can be racist towards each other. Interesting,
right.
But
probably
I'm
because
good.
You're white, so.
Oh, because I'm white, I didn't go through the racism course.
Probably not.
It's Lucy and Jeff going for walks and talk about banksters and Bitcoin and globalists and stuff. It's Lucy and Jeff and tacos and kisses. Hey Lucy, are you racist? Well, I'm half black and half white, I guess, so I'm half racist, and the black part of me can't be racist according to that idiot. Don't they all know it's just a big distraction from the corona hoax economic collapse? Yeah, even Lucy knows. I can't believe how easy it is for most people to fall for pretty much everything. I guess in some ways it's okay. It's easy to make a lot of money when everyone has no clue what's really going on, but and it's freezing cold here in Mexico again. It's been like freezing cold for like 2 weeks. In July, in Mexico, it even snowed yesterday. Yeah, this global warming, how
Dare you?
I mean, really, how
Dare you?
How dare I never question what you're supposed to talk about and think? And of course, a lot of this, where did all this racism stuff come from? Out of the blue, while the entire world's in economic collapse, and I mean economic collapse. See, most of these people, like the guy in the, and his fat white girlfriend, they always have a fat white girlfriend. I guess this is where all the fat white girls are going now. But anyway, they don't seem to notice because they don't even have jobs. Most of them are probably all on government welfare. This ain't. Or in the schools, which kind of all shut down now. So they don't even know or care. While the entire world is basically being destroyed, they're told by the television that we gotta all talk and get angry about racism. And of course, it's all just a massive distraction. But it's pretty amazing how far they'll push all this stuff. There was even Tucker Carlson was talking about how in Seattle, they called in all the white employees to talk about how they can undo their whiteness.
Recently, the city of Seattle summoned its white employees, and only its white employees, to a meeting and then informed them that their skin color is a crime. The city called this anti-racism training. Events like it are taking place all over the country right now, in schools, local governments, corporations, the military. The city of Seattle named its training session Interrupting Internalized Racial Superiority and Whiteness. Chris Rufo of City Journal wanted to know exactly what went on in a meeting like that, so he filed a public records request. Here's what he found. White employees in Seattle were informed that their so-called white qualities were offensive and unacceptable. Those qualities included perfectionism, objectivity, and individualism. The employees were told to stop exhibiting these characteristics, and instead they were ordered to undertake, quote, the work of undoing your own whiteness. In order to achieve that, in order to erase the traits they were born with, white employees in Seattle were ordered to give up the following. They were ordered to give up comfort. They were ordered to give up spending time with their family. They were ordered to give up guaranteed physical safety, control over other people and the land, relationships with some other white people, niceties from neighbors and colleagues, and, quote, the certainty of your jobs. Prepare to be unemployed, pale employees of Seattle. Your skin color disgusts us.
And even the guy with the pink shirt with the AK, The police just raided his house, of course, and stole all his guns, wishing him luck. Now that he has no guns and everyone in the world knows it, and apparently these guys keep marching outside of his house. Yep, that's what government does. And of course, most of history is his story. It's all lies. And even talking about slavery, there was, oh, this is a cute little, he's like a wiener dog. They talk about slavery and all this. Everyone's a slave today, by the way. But most people aren't aware there was actually tons and tons of white slaves. Where's my reparations?
That even Wikipedia, notorious for being selective about their histories themselves, have been forced to host an entire page on. This page goes over not hundreds of years of history, but thousands of years of proof of white slavery.
The Barbary pirates were actually after people, white Christians specifically, who could be sold as slaves in Muslim countries. Slavery was an old African tradition, and it is not to be wondered at that it flourished on what became known as the Barbary Coast. Of course, everybody knows about Europeans going to Africa and taking the people off into slavery. It's taught in schools. White slavery is not so well known. The Barbary Coast was named after the Berbers who originally lived there and included countries like Algeria, Tunisia and modern-day Morocco. From ports there, Muslims set off to Europe to seize as many white Christians as they could for the slave markets of North Africa.
Dr. John Adzuma estimates in his 2001 book that slavers in these parts engaged in the incredible heinous practice of castration of both white and black men and boys to bring their highest priced specialty slave called the eunuch to the market. It is thought that 6 out of 10 men and boys died in this process. Now, this was done not only to stop their nature of retaliation, as well to make them best suited for guarding their other favorite slaves, their sex slaves known as a harem, many of which were also white. The Khalifa in Baghdad at the beginning of the 10th century, he had over 7,000 black eunuchs and 4,000 white eunuchs in his palace. I guess their white privilege did not save the white slaves that were children and women and eunuchs the same fate of their black counterparts.
Was it a trifling affair of a few hundred people here and there? Hardly. The island of Gozo, part of modern Malta, was attacked in July 1551 and the entire population of 5,000 people taken off into slavery. The sack of Baltimore in Ireland gives one good example of what was going on at that time. The entire population was removed. This was a serious problem for Europe, especially in the Mediterranean countries, but also for Britain and even Iceland. Current estimates suggest that the number of Europeans captured and taken to Africa numbered in the millions.
President Thomas Jefferson, starting in the year 1800, brought the U.S. Navy back to life for the purpose of one of our country's very first military operations, the Barbary Wars, to stop the pirates' extortion and terror of white enslavement against U.S. merchant ships, and they did so quite successfully. You then must consider that your U.S. history books never told you that, and therefore you must deeply question everything else they taught you. As for Hollywood, can you even imagine how fantastic a movie could portray this event? It would easily make hundreds of millions of dollars. But movies aren't made merely for money. They're made to reinforce your programming. There were some who had signed up for indentured servitude willingly, which we got about one paragraph of in school, and the story ended there. But they certainly didn't tell us that the vast majority of people technically falling under this category never agreed to this contract.
Seriously, I want my reparations. And of course, if you speak out about any of this stuff, you get basically wiped off the internet. Stefan Molyneux, who had his entire channel deleted off YouTube, so did Max Egan. 2 totally different people, by the way. Now, this week, Stefan Molyneux has been deleted from Twitter. And just so you know, if you're still using things like YouTube, Twitter, and all that, and you're not just using it like I am just to, you know, get the message out to stupid people, you should really start to move over to free market applications. So in the case of YouTube, there's BitChute, Library, DTube. We're on all of them. We even have all our videos on our own website. And in the case of Twitter, there's actually a number of free market, decentralized, blockchain-based Twitters. One in particular is on Bitcoin SV. It's called Twetch, Twetch, and I'm now on there. And I really recommend getting off of any Google products. Get off Google Chrome if you have it. Just switch over to Brave. Just go to dollarvigilante.com/Brave. It's exact same as Chrome, but it's not connected to Google. Kind of a big improvement. You're not connected to the CIA and the NSA. And you can even earn a fair amount of money using that browser, connecting your stuff to that browser. Look into Brave Rewards. If you're using, don't use Gmail, use Proton Mail or Tutanova. All these sort of things. I'm on all those. I'm not on hardly anything anymore. I think I got one or two small things to get rid of still, and then I'm off everything. A lot of people might say, but if we all go over to those places, it's a bit of an echo chamber because all the smart people will be there and all the dumb people who we need to try to educate won't be there. Well, it all starts somewhere, right? And so if you keep sort of saying, well, I'm not going to use it till other people use it, what's going to happen? No one's ever going to use it. So just start, you know, make it just a part of your day. A little extra. If you're going to post on Twitter, post on Twetch. And just so you know, you have to actually pay to post on Twetch, but it could be like a penny. But that actually makes the content a lot better. So there's a lot of very interesting things out there. And of course, no one can delete what's on those things. Once it's posted on something like Twetch, it's impossible to remove. And that is beautiful. And of course, there's so many things that a lot of people are posting and they all get taken down. Like this one. This is from the Australian Mafia. Says, it should be noted that PCR tests cannot distinguish between live virus and non-infective RNA. So these are the tests that they're all doing in the US now. They're not even all just doing tests, they just have people call into hotlines. And they say, oh, I got a cough. They're like, you got the COVID? Okay. Add another one to the list. Oh my gosh, it's a crisis. Shut her all down. They'll keep doing this until people wake up. And it doesn't seem like anyone's waking up. So this could be years like this. But on the Australian government, their notice that the tests can't actually distinguish between live virus and non-infective RNA. That actually means the test can't distinguish between COVID from a cold or measles or Ebola or bunny Ebola. You might have the bunny Ebola now. So all of these notable human diseases caused by RNA viruses include Ebola, virus disease, SARS, COVID-19, rabies. Lucy, don't go on the road. They're just chasing a bird. The common cold, the flu, hepatitis C, West Nile fever, polio, measles. Yeah, it's pretty specific what it tests for. It's basically anything. And of course, if you had a flu shot before, you will have a lot of these things in your system. Yeah, it's all a big scam. Lucy Ben? Lucy, she doesn't understand this road very well. I know there's birds over there, Lucy, but don't go on the road. Where is she? Lucy? Where'd she go? Lucy? Hang on. Lucy? Where the heck is she? How did I lose her? Oh, there she is. Where'd she go? There's a whole bunch of birds across the street. Yeah, but Lucy, just wait. We'll go over there later. Here, let's go back, Lucy. And of course, everyone's got their masks on now. And I mean everybody. Hey, here's a photo of a guy. I thought this was good. When they tell you to wear a mask, this guy's wearing a mask. And if you are going to wear a mask, you know, make up an interesting mask at the very least, like this guy. I think I fought him once in Mortal Kombat. And we had a subscriber write in that he was tried to go into a taco shop in Texas, and he saw this sign: no masks, no tacos. I told you the boogaloo starts when they go after my tacos. And of course, you know, what's most important about all this is equality. And so many of the criminal organizations like the IMF, the United Nations, the World Health Organization, they're all talking about how important it is that we're all equal.
Let me turn now to Kristalina Georgieva, Managing Director of the IMF.
We already project that there will be more debt, more deficit, more unemployment, and there is a very high risk of more inequality and more poverty unless we act. And that takes me to what is it that would make it so that history would look at this crisis as the great opportunity for reset. It is critical, and we at the fund work with others to use investments that are going to be supported by institutions like mine, by the World Bank and others, to shrink the digital divide. And also we need to think of how we are going to use the benefits of rapid growth in digital, where profitability is jumping up, to build more of a sharing of these benefits across our societies.
Oh no, kind of sounds like communism to me, bro. Hey yo, is that why you're rocking the red jacket today?
And that takes me to my third and I think most important point of a fairer world.
Show me how you want it to be. Tell me, baby, 'cause I need to know now. Because
if we were to concentrate on investing in people, in the social fabric of our societies, in access to opportunities to education to all, in the expansion of social programs, so we take care of the most vulnerable people, then we can have a world that is a better world for all. And I want to conclude with an example from the past.
Это старая крепостническая темнота проходит. Народ становится зрячим. Не евреи враги трудящих. Враги рабочих, капиталисты всех стран.
Equally enslaved. And they keep bringing up how we need a new social contract. Well, I hate to tell you guys, there was no old social contract. Where's my social contract? I can't seem to find a copy anywhere. But now they're saying we need a new one.
And we're talking here also in the Great Reset about the need for a new social contract.
I thought Klaus introduced the need for a new social contract because this will build trust very eloquently.
Am I the only one hella creeped out by these guys sitting around scheming on how to win our trust?
Trust really gives us our credibility. It's really the essential piece to ensuring that we can continue to do the work that we do.
We need to sustain people's trust.
You need enormous trust between the private sector and the public sector for this to actually work.
And I thank Kristalina for the greener, smarter, fairer world, because it fits right into this frame.
This frame?
Yeah, just keep watching the media while they tell you all about equality and our new social contract. And by the way, I mentioned, what's his name? Richard Quest from CNN. And some people posted in the comments about how he was basically arrested about 10 years ago. And I did not know about that, but basically Richard Quest, he's the guy in on CNN who's like English and talks really funny. It's like his teeth are way too big for his mouth. He's like, oh. And he just came out recently because they always have to bring out some person on television. And he survived the, oh my gosh, it's terrible, the COVID-19! 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 Yeah, he survived, but he says there's a side effect. There's something that we don't know about the COVID. What happens is you get really clumsy. You just start bumping into stuff. Well, what I didn't know about him was that he was, well, let me read from this story. I did not know this, but I'm not surprised either. A top TV reporter has been caught in a park with drugs and a sex toy. Briton Richard Quest also had a rope tied around his privates when he was arrested in New York Central Park. He was arrested after being found in New York Central Park with another man. The park closes at 1 a.m. Quest, who presents a show named after him, told police, "I've got some meth in my pocket." A rope was looped around his neck and privates under his clothes. I don't really care what you do with your private parts. I really couldn't care less. Same with race. If anyone wants to attack me, I couldn't care less what race you are. I consider there's just one race, the human race. And wherever you want to put your penis, I don't care. As long as you're not putting it in something or someone who doesn't want you to do it. You do whatever you want. You want to take all kinds of drugs? Go for it. I'm a libertarian. I'm an anarcho-capitalist. I have no problem with any of those things he was doing. It's just funny. And of course he's still on the TV. You'd think something like that, they wouldn't put him on the television anymore, but you know, people like Brian Williams, he's getting shot by helicopters and stuff, but he kind of wasn't, he was kind of lying.
I want to apologize. I said I was traveling in an aircraft that was hit by RPG fire. I was instead in a following aircraft.
Lying Brian. It doesn't matter because they're all liars anyway. They're just having fun. Just telling you more lies and all that kind of stuff. But speaking of scandals, here's another thing you won't hear on the television programming. What a surprise. The National Institute of Health owns half of Moderna vaccine. This comes from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I actually know quite a few people in the anti-vax movement, or sort of the pro-freedom movement. And they tell me he's been doing a really good job on a lot of stuff, which is surprising considering his family. But here's what it says. New documents obtained by Axios and Public Citizen suggest that the National Institute of Health owns half the key patent for Moderna's controversial COVID vaccine and could collect half the royalties. In addition, 4 NIH scientists have filed their own provisional patent application as co-inventors. Little-known NIH regulations let agency scientists collect up to $150,000 annually in royalties from vaccines. Lucy, watch out. Ben. Lucy, Ben. Sorry, I got cut off by a bunch of little kids driving a car. That should be illegal. I'm calling the cops. Get out of here, you kids. Or it's Mexico and it doesn't matter. But the article goes on to say, these rules are recipes for regulatory corruption. NIH's stake in the jab may explain why Anthony Fauci moved Moderna's vaccine to the front of the line and to let Moderna skip animal trials despite the experimental technology and the inherent dangers of coronavirus vaccines. Every prior coronavirus vaccine has proven problematic and can be lethal to animals due to COVID's unique penchant for pathogenic priming. Death occurs only after a vaccinated animal encounters the wild virus. Public health advocates and scientists criticize Fauci's decision to skip animal trials as reckless and may also explain why Fauci arranged a $483 million grant to Moderna from a sister NIH agency, BARDA, despite the fact that Moderna has never brought a product to market or gotten approval. Fauci publicly announced he was encouraged by Moderna's catastrophic phase 1 clinical trials, despite the fact that groups of super healthy volunteers had grade 3 severe or medically significant reactions following vaccination. Fauci's infusion made Moderna's CEO Steve Bancel a billionaire and further enriched Fauci's mentor and co-investor, Bill Gates. It may also explain why Fauci publicly announced he was encouraged by Moderna's catastrophic phase 1 clinical trials, despite the fact that 20% of the high dose and 6% of the low dose groups of super healthy volunteers had grade 3 severe or medically significant reactions following vaccinations. 20% of healthy people had severe or medically significant reactions, which is about what I said. I said it's around 10-20%. And some of the reactions can be so bad as paralysis, can be death. My own mother was paralyzed the day after taking the swine flu vaccine. But no one's looking into Fauci. The whole thing's just your typical massive fraud. And it's pretty funny what they're doing too, when you think about it. Now they're trying to talk about swine flu coming again. And it's kind of interesting when you think about Muslims, and I'm not saying good or bad things about Muslims in general. I actually don't really have much of an opinion on that. But they don't eat pork, and they're trying to get people to stop eating pork. They also don't like alcohol. They've been shutting down most bars. In some places in the world, they've stopped alcohol sales. On many planes, they even stopped alcohol sales. And many Muslims also wear face coverings. Kind of interesting. Whatever happened to Muslims or terrorists? Now they're trying to make everyone kind of like a Muslim. It's because they're just having fun. These guys are just complete and total psychopaths. And it's just hilarious. They're just loving it. So yeah, this continues on. They just shut down Las Vegas mostly again. So many states in the US are talking about shutting down again, which is what I said would happen. Oh, here's a cute dog. So really, it's just about, oh, let's see how Lucy does with this dog. Oh, there she is. Yeah, I'm good. He seems nice. So really, the world's basically insane. Most people have no idea what's going on. And it's going to get crazier and crazier. So that's one of the reasons we did the Dollar Vigilante Summit, which rave reviews keep coming in. I keep getting emails every day. I don't put up a lot of them. A lot of them are just they're personal sort of things about how it really helped them and stuff like that. But here's just one. Hi, Jeff. I just wanted to thank you for organizing the TDV Summit. It was a great success. I've just finished watching all the presentations, including Doug Casey's, and I've learned so much. It was a real eye-opener and has given me so much to think about to help me and my family survive in this mad world. I think what you and the team are doing is honorable and wish you and the family all the best for the future. Live long and prosper. That's great, and I keep hearing that for so many people. And you can check it all out at tdvsummit.com. It's 2 full days. If you're kind of like, man, how am I going to survive through all this? Not only just economically and financially, but even just personally, like with any kind of freedom. Lucy Ben? I told you those birds. No, Lucy, no. Lucy, just wait. I told you there's birds over here. Lucy. Okay. Yeah, she wants to go to the other side of the road, so luckily there's no cars. Lucy, Ben, sits. Lucy. All right. Lucy, you're such an anarchist. Lucy, wait for me. Yeah, I'm done with all this stuff. It's been like a week and a half since we had a good walk. So I'm just having as much fun as I can. Looks like it's gonna rain again soon. Stupid global warming. Lucy, Ben. All right, Lucy. Okay, so Lucy's running all over the place. Let's go away from the road, Lucy. Yeah, I just told you. Yeah, here we go. It's been a while since I've gone for a run. Lucy, Ben, Lucy. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Lizzie! Lizzie!
Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. I'm having a good time. Gotta get in some runs before the rain comes again. Stupid Greta and global warming.
You've seen the dollar vigilante on mainstream media trolling the fake news, and seen Jeff Berwick travel inside places like Venezuela and Cuba to expose the truth about what's happening in those socialist paradises. To get even more, make sure to subscribe to the Dollar Vigilante newsletter to receive 2 full 30-plus page issues from the Dollar Vigilante each month, plus market alerts on precious metals, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and gold mining stocks by going to dollarvigilante.com/subscribe. Click on the link in the notes below or go to dollarvigilante.com/subscribe to find out more.